Okay, if you quickly get settled, give this English guy a little bit of room to speak, and I'll just wait a minute. Okay guys, as I said, I hope you enjoyed the coffee. Our next speaker this is going to be really good. Our next guy, I'm going to forget this, I'm going to tell you a little secret about him, if I may. This man actually spent a night in jail. Prison. A jail. Okay, depends on country, yeah? Okay. He spent a night in jail for changing around the road signs in a country which I'm not going to name, and got in a lot of trouble because when he changed around the signs, they actually spelled out different meanings and rude words. But I'm sure he's going to maybe touch on that later. But anyway, this next man, he's worked his way from sweeping floors and getting coffee to now he's running his own agency right here in sunny No, it's not really sunny, is it? When I wrote this, it was sunny. He has been named by Forbes as the #1 Snapchat business guru, and Mashable has put him in the top 50 marketing influencers. Please give a very warm Copenhagen and Komfo Summit welcome to the wearer of many hats, Chris Kubby.
Hey, what's up, folks? You guys having fun? It's been good so far, right? So, like I was just introduced, that's totally the wrong slide. There we go. You guys were probably expecting Grimure here to give a talk about chatbots and AI, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm sure his presentation probably would have been far better than mine, so I'm sorry about that. Instead, you get me. I think this is a good look for me, actually. I don't know about Grimure here, though. I don't think he'll be too happy with that replacement. So, what do you guys think of that? Is that nice? Yeah, I like it too. So instead, he was going to talk about robots, bad robots. I'll talk a little bit about bad robots because I think we're in this sort of zone now of trying to automate some things. And I'm a little bit like Carlos Gillen, thinking like that's not necessarily the right approach. How many people are actually using bots in their marketing today? I would like to get just a temperature. One. Few. Okay, good. Then I don't, maybe I don't have to convince any of you to stop using them. But basically, my talk is going to be a little bit less exciting, maybe a little bit less fun in terms of, not talking about robots, but I'm going to be talking to you guys about death. I know it sounds a little bit morbid, but I wanted to talk to you guys about death because I think it's an important topic today in marketing. And the reason why I want to talk about death is because I believe that marketers as we know it are dying. And I think also that brands are dying. And I don't want anybody to die. I want you guys all to survive the next 10, 15 years before the robots take over and kill us all. So I want you guys to survive, and that's really what this talk is about. And I'm also going to give you guys some hats. Who wants some hats? You guys like hats? I got my own branded hats now. I'm a rock star. So this talk is about death and about how to make sure that you guys don't die and that your companies don't die. Because I actually think this is about a mindset shift into the future, and I think a lot of companies haven't got there yet. They haven't made that jump. And I worry about you guys. And so you can tweet this out. This is not mine, but we're going through something here that I call shift happens. Change happens. And we saw with, for example, the Chinese presentation from Christina, the rate of change there is insane. And we're also seeing that in other places in the world, and it's incredible to me. And I think we're going to get bulldozed. I think as marketers, we're getting bulldozed by what's happening today. Because if you look back at the last let's say 5 years maybe, this happened. Shit happened. And by shit, I mean, who here has actually sent a poop emoji to somebody? Who's done this? Almost everybody has sent a poop emoji to somebody. Maybe their boss even. And I think that's crazy. I think that's incredible that we've fundamentally changed how we also speak. And brands need to catch up. Marketers need to catch up extremely fast, or you're gonna fucking die. That's the reality here that we're talking about. So, like I said, now shit happens actually. So there's gonna be winners in this game, and there's gonna be losers in this game. I love this so much. I can just watch this all day. So there's going to be marketers that are going to try this and they're going to fail, and that's okay. You're going to fall on your face. And that's the mindset shift that I think needs to happen. I think as marketers, we're too late to the party. We're just now thinking about Instagram and Instagram stories, and that's too late. Because the reality is that technology is now culture. We can see that with a poop emoji. That is now culture. And we're fundamentally missing out on the cultural discussions that we're having. So while many marketers and many people will come up here and speak to you guys about specific tactics, stuff like that, that's fine. I love tactics and I have a lot in my pocket. I really want to talk to you guys about changing your minds. Because it's not about the tactics, because that's gonna shift. That's gonna change. But what's not gonna change is that your ability to adapt and adapt quickly. If you build that into your organization, if you build that into the way you market, then you will always be ahead. Or at least one little step behind. Probably a few steps behind China. Aren't we all? So, who here wants to die? Nobody, right? We all wanna live. So I really encourage you guys to change your mindset. When I put this up, what does everybody say? What does everyone think? Shout it. Snapchat. Not enough discussion about Snapchat. I'm not here to discuss Snapchat. I'm here to discuss what Snapchat has done. Snapchat has fundamentally changed how people communicate, just the way Facebook did. Does anybody want to guess how big Snapchat is compared to, let's say, in ranking of number of users? What would you put it in? Would you put it in the top 5 of social medias in terms of users? Who would put it in the top 5 of number of social media users? You're wrong. It edges into the top 10 at number 9. We're talking about the biggest social networks in the world: Facebook, Instagram, WeChat. They're chasing number 9. Why? Because they fundamentally changed the game. And that's something super important. Not about platforms. I don't give a shit about platforms. I care about what has it done to us culturally. What has it done that we can take in as marketers and say, what can we use in this to better our marketing, to better our ROI, to make sure that we live through this massive transformation that we're going through. Because it is a massive transformation. So I don't care about Snapchat. What I care about is that now people actually talk to themselves in these 10-second increments. And what does that mean as a marketer? You can't break through the noise. I mean, you literally have more, they say people have less attention span than goldfish these days. Could you imagine trying to market to a goldfish? It's fucking impossible. Right? So you fundamentally have to think completely different than we used to think. We're now this. This is our life now. Everybody knows what this is. Everybody can take a selfie. Everybody has fundamentally changed the way they consume media and the way they make media, which is completely different. We used to be a brand where we were actually creating the media. We were the media makers. We were the marketers. The next generation, they're the marketers. They're way better marketers than I am. My son knows way better how to promote himself on social networks than I ever could. And that's incredible. That's a total change. I love this. Oh, speaking of which, maybe I should do a selfie. You guys want to do a selfie? I gotta get you guys in here. It's not often I'm on stage in front of 500 people. So I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing up here. I'm like, okay, let's go. It's backwards. Okay, everyone look good. You're not looking good there. Look good. Say, Komfo Summit! You guys are horrible. So this is what we're competing against. And I say it's all about people, not platforms. Because fundamentally, we've actually been given the most amazing gift of all time, which is that we can actually interact with people on a one-to-one basis at scale. That's what social media has given us. But we haven't fully opened that gift box. We've sort of tried to fit our old ways into doing social media. We tried to say, okay, we'll do advertising and we'll push products. I mean, obviously, something is different going on in China because they can do a live stream of, almost QVC style online shopping, and they get millions of people watching it and liking his stuff. That's a totally new game. So I don't know if the answer is really that people don't want to be sold to. I don't think that's the answer. I think you have to try out almost everything to find out what works for your audience and what works for your market. Because if you asked any social media marketer today, they would be like, oh, don't do a live stream where you're selling products. That's a horrible idea. Clearly not. Because Chinese people do it, and they do it at scale, and it's amazing. So, but I think what they've tapped into is what's fundamental is that it's about the people. It's not about the platforms. It's not about Snapchat. It's not about Instagram. Those will go away. It's about how can you connect with your audience? How can you engage with them? And marketers are just not figuring this out. And I think you guys should. This is the fundamental thing that I say about social media. And I'm hoping that you guys take this into consideration. Social media is about helping people create stories of their own with your brand. We saw the Gatorade thing. That's a prime example. These people are all creators. We're all creators now. We're creating our selfies, we're doing our Snapchat stories, we're doing Instagram stories, all that stuff. We're all creators now. We're all creating stuff. Right? So when you see YouTube people, I mean, if you ask anybody who's under the age of 15 what they want to do for a living, do you know what the number one answer is? I want to be a YouTube creator. When I grew up, it was like, I want to be a porn star or some shit like that. There's no money in porn, but there's money in YouTube. Right? So that's a big time difference. So social media is about helping people create stories of their own with your brand. And once you start to get that into your mindset, you start to think about, hey, wait a second, how do we do that? How do we actually create stuff for them to create stuff? That's a totally different way of looking at it. I also say that if you're not willing to talk to your customers every day, your competitors will. This is also a fundamental shift, is that we can actually, how many people here have like somebody visiting their website, the same person every day for like 118 minutes a day, because that's how many people spend on social media? Almost none of us. None of us have a website where people are spending 118 minutes a day on. But on social media, you can talk to your market, your audience, your customers every single day. That's incredibly powerful. That's immensely powerful, and we haven't even tapped into it yet. I hear a lot of people say, well, we don't want to oversaturate them. We don't want to post too much. Do you see everything your mom posts on Facebook, for example? I'm sure everybody's mom's on Facebook now. Do you see everything that your friend from high school posts every day? No, you see like maybe 10, 15%. So I say to brands, like, don't be afraid of pushing out more. You'll find the breaking point. But if you're there and you're willing to talk to your customers every single day, that's immensely powerful, and I think you should tap into that. Now, the reason why I also say this is because we're kind of a fickle bunch these days. We have this weird brand loyalty, reputation thing going on right now. And I say that because you would think that reputation would be super sacred these days, because if something goes bad, it goes out on social media, and the internet just hates you forever, right? It's just not the case. Who remembers this ad? Do you guys remember the backlash of this ad? I guess racism is over. That's what Pepsi was basically saying, is that have a Pepsi and all this social justice stuff will go away. And it's just not the case. But this is what's really fucking interesting to me. That line, April 4th, is when that ad went out. Can you see the stock price? Didn't affect them at all. In fact, it went better for them. Which is like, what? Why is that? And that's because people aren't loyal that much these days. They're willing to jump onto other different things. Who here likes Pepsi? Who here likes Coca-Cola? Danes. It's because it's red, right? Is that why? Red and white? I'm Canadian, so maybe I should join the vote. Here's another interesting one. Can anybody guess what brand this is? You don't all have to shout at once. Take a stab at it, anybody. In the news recently, had some problems, broke a guy's face, but United, who said that? You at the back? You get a hat, sir. Come get it. I'm going to throw it to you and hit somebody else. There you go. Who wants a hat? These guys. I don't want a hat. Okay, we'll get to it. Yes, this is United. Highest stock price ever was 60 days later. What? You guys broke a guy's face and pulled him off of a plane violently. How can you still have a stock price? Like, what happened here? But people still flew United. And that's because brand loyalty is extremely loose these days. We get over stuff so fast. So as a brand, we really are in a totally different market now. And it means that small brands can come and kick your ass. Because they are smarter, faster, more agile. And I worry about that. It keeps me up at night. Well, my work keeps me up at night. And so I like to do things a little bit differently when it comes to social media and how you guys can actually get into this game, and I call it the wife test. The wife test is basically about this. How am I going to get laid with this tactic? And it's a little bit like marketing. It's really a good test of marketing. So the thing is that if I was to go to my wife, like you guys would go to your customers and say, hey honey, do you want to have sex? It's probably not going to happen. But if I go with like this, getting a little closer, maybe I bring her a cupcake. Maybe I throw in some Berry White. Now we're talking. Now we're talking, right? But see, the thing is that you guys are just going, most brands, not you guys, I don't know what the hell you guys are doing, but most brands are just going with, hey honey, do you want to have sex? Hey customer A, would you like to buy our product? I don't know your name or anything, and I've just sent an email that says, hello, first name. Which happens all the fucking time. All the time. I got one the other day, and I emailed the CEO, because I know the CEO, and I was like, uncool, man, just uncool. You know my name. So if I do this, I have a way better chance of having sex. If I do this, I have a way better chance of having sex. This is like a growth hack. You know growth hacking? This is a growth hack right here. You guys can tweet that. Wine is the best sex growth hack of all time. Or gin and tonics on Friday, that also works. So the thing is that we have this immense opportunity today to completely stalk and spy on our customers. But we're not doing it. We can gather all the information that we need. We can say, we know they're into this, we know they're into that, we know they're into this, we know their first name, we know where they work. We can put that into a CRM. Who's putting social media followers into a CRM? One guy, 2 people, 3 people, These are your customers. These are the potential customers. But we haven't gone down this line yet to say, holy shit, we're sitting on a gold mine. Let's fucking do something about it. And instead, we're talking about robots. This is what it's like to chat to a robot. I've tried many. It's a nightmare. They don't know what it's like. They want to push their own agenda. They're like a bad girlfriend. They're like, you're sitting there talking at dinner and like she's just yammering on about her own day. It's like, I just said something to you. Like, can you respond in a normal way? But they don't. They just say, hey, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but hey, look at the program. Or look at the menu tonight. It doesn't work. We have to get better and better and better at this. And it will, of course. Right? So, what I don't want is this for you guys. I want you guys to do this. I want you guys to take the leap. Because you're going to fail. You're going to fuck it up. But I want you guys to take the leap. Most marketers are just sitting on the edge of the bed, not making the leap. And that's my fundamental, message for you guys today. So, let's take a temperature of the room here. How many brands, marketers here are confident that you guys are going to survive the next 10 years? Hands up. I like it. I like the numbers. How many think they're going to die? 1 or 2. Okay. I love the honesty. I love that. You get a hat too. Points for, can you catch it? I'm sorry if this decapitates somebody, you have insurance, right? Oi! Who wants one? Let's go over there. Alright, last one's going to the live stream cam. Whoa! There we go. So, that was my talk. My name is Chris Kubby Kubbernus. I'm the CEO of a digital agency in Denmark here. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn, MySpace. Just kidding. Google Plus, not kidding. I don't know what the hell I'm doing on there. Anyway, thank you guys so much.